Hello, everyone, and welcome to 4 Top 3s. I am V.
And I'm Aethor.
I'm Kasir.
I'm Neil.
Yay!
Yes!
Look at that.
We haven't lost the knack for doing the intro.
Speedrun.
I'm so good at this. Everyone knows the intro by now. Let's get on with it. So through meticulous choosing of who gets to be next, it was me. And I've decided to choose a topic that's a little bit weird and off the wall because I didn't want any more animals and I didn't want to do food. So I have gone with things that you have lost that you want back.
Which, if we're going to be bummer, might still be animals.
Yeah.
We're doing no bummers, right?
Oh my god, good point.
Shit. Gonna scratch off some stuff on my list.
I don't know. I have one or two that might be a bummer. So
What do you mean 1 or 2? There's 3.
I have honourable mentions
They're all
too.
gonna be
This is one of the
bummers.
few times I have a legitimate honourable mentions.
No, I have 3 and I'm not happy about like 2 of them. So
Oh.
we'll see how this goes.
I mean, we lost stuff. None of us is happy about them.
I'll get into it when I get into it, man. Like,
Oh, I thought of another honourable mention, but
my
I'll
God.
do that in a minute. I'd tell you what, Aethel, you started speaking first, so how about you go first?
It's your topic.
No, your topic. You're going first.
No, every time I've managed to avoid going first.
Well, not
this time.
anymore.
Damn it!
You're all
Lost that
voted
privilege.
2 to 1, I guess.
Fine.
Neil's neutral.
Fine.
Withholding.
He's waiting for a bribe.
Just silently judging me. Okay. So way back when I was in school, I did art as one of my basic qualifications. GCSE, so I was like 16 or something, and I did art. Except I never took the exam because I was super stressed. I was so stressed the doctor was actually going to write me off of all of my courses, so I could have actually attended none of my exams and gotten a mark between the top person who would be considered one above me and the person considered one below me. But I didn't want to do that. I said, how about we just get rid of art for now, and if I need more, I will let you know. So for many hours a day when I was supposed to be at art class, I dossed around in art and just did literally whatever the fuck I wanted, which was art, ironically. And
The non-stressful type.
The art of avoiding art.
yes, and it was great because everyone else had to learn about colour theory and how things and shapes went together and different people's designs. And I was sitting off in the corner with a A2 piece of paper, some chalk and some charcoal, and I just drew. I just drew for a couple of hours and used that as chill time. I was a very stressed teenager. And I, for my final piece, not that I ever did a final piece, I just wanted to do one really big, really good thing. I drew a picture of a dancer. So essentially a ballerina, no facial features whatsoever, no features on muscles or anything, just like a really flowing piece. And I did that in a couple of hours using chalk and charcoal. And then I may have been going through some things as a teenager. I wrapped ropes and chains around her. So I drew those as well with chalk and charcoal. And it was gorgeous. By the time I'd finished, I'm like, if I'd been given 8 weeks to do my final piece, I probably would have been okay. But we didn't have that normally. Normally you're only allowed 4 hours in one day and that's it. And I took that home and I was very proud of it. I had it at the end of my bedroom for the longest time. I had it on my wall for the longest time. And then I moved out for a while and then I came back and my bedroom had been turned into someone else's bedroom.
No!
And that art piece went missing. And I was gutted because I was so proud. It was the only thing from the art course that I was actually genuinely proud of. So yeah, I miss.
They sold it for millions.
God, I wish I fucking had that.
And then they spent it on ciggies.
Yes, unfortunately, that or medical care. And yeah, so I think the thing that I've lost that I would really want back would be that art piece because I was genuinely proud of it.
Aww.
And obviously, as an adult looking back, maybe it was just shit and I didn't realise. But I drew it and I liked it at the time and I want it back. And I miss charcoal and chalk, but I just don't have the aptitude to do fine details anymore. It's just beyond me. So yeah, that would be my third missing item that I would like back.
Since it's been a while, I know this has probably not been a thing, but do you have photos of it?
I don't.
Rude.
So when I was a teen, like I didn't actually have a phone until I was on a motorbike at 23 years old. I kept getting given phones, but I never used them, so I never took photos of stuff. And I wasn't really into photography, so I didn't take photos of stuff. And my parents were like, I don't care. So they didn't take photos of it either. So yeah, alas, it is truly missing.
No.
I helped clean out her parents' place a couple of years ago. The concerning lack of any kind of photography. It was literally like maybe like the first 10 years of your life there were pictures and then there was just nothing.
Yep.
They just stopped.
There were to be fair, there weren't even a lot of pictures of me as a kid. There weren't many of them.
But there were
yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, there were some. But yeah, like I think when we got 9 or 10, my mum started getting really sick and my dad kind of like lost the willpower to do it because he was too busy like looking after my mum. So it was just like, yeah, there were no pictures of stuff I did. There were no like hand-me-downs or any of this. The most that would have been pictured would have been like in my teenage years when my friends were taking pictures of each other and throwing that on whatever like equivalent of Facebook was. So yeah, that would probably been the most of it, but no one took a picture of that art because
not even like
I don't know.
Photos of you and your friends just hanging out in your room and it's hanging in the background or something like that.
We didn't hang out at my house all that much.
Okay.
That was not the place to hang out. We did sometimes, but like, yeah, it was,
that was not photography time.
No, this was hanging out and playing Xbox or like PS2 or some shit at the time. So yeah.
Well, if you ever find a picture of yourself in front of that thing, you definitely need to grab it because I would love to see that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
It was pretty. I don't know. Maybe one day if I'm forced to be in bed rest for a while, maybe I'll reattempt it. But I think nostalgia has made it better than it actually was.
Charcoal's fun.
But did you say you were made to paint? You drew it with charcoal and chalk. Chalk. Okay. Now I'm just making an observation here. Those are two non-sharp drawing implements. Were there reasons? Were they like, oh, she's so stressed out, we can't give her a sharp pencil, give her coal?
No, I just like the way that the kind of like the crumbly nature of chalk and charcoal mixing together. Like they just had like a really nice look and texture to them, and I could get like levels of shading that I couldn't if I tried doing it with a pencil. Because I am
the
no
smearing
artist.
And stuff. It's just fun to do. It's
fun.
like a whole different thing in there. Being able to highlight with the eraser.
When you say chalk, is that white chalk?
Yes.
Were you drawing on white paper or was it like colored paper?
It was off-white.
Oh.
It was
I've heard of that
dirty
color.
white. Yeah, it wasn't like bright white paper, but it was that kind of grayish art paper.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense why you would be using chalk because like it doesn't really make sense on a white paper.
Chalk gives me that, I can't.
Oh, no, Neil.
I can't.
I don't think I've ever drawn with chalk or coal. I've only ever had pencils or crayons or whatever.
No, like I did the basic outlining in a like really gentle pencil. At least I thought it was. I probably may have just made really like hard pencil lines, then just put so much chalk over it you never noticed them. No, I did like the basic line work, and then I filled the inside with the chalk and then the charcoal, and then I just kind of kept blending them together. And then when I realized I still had like hours left of art class, I started like just adding dark lines here and there to make little ropes, and then like doing the shadows to represent like everything cutting into flesh. It was kind of fun.
Jesus.
And then I used like hairspray to like set everything in place for a while. Whether that worked or not, I don't know. I can't see it anymore.
Well, that's very sad.
Yeah.
Oh God, these are all gonna be sad except mine.
Yeah, obviously. I just remembered that there was a special spray we had in art school for like chalk and stuff like that. That's called fixative. I'm not sure if that's the same word in English, but like we use it instead of hairspray because hairspray has the tendency of yellowing out at its edges. And I just looked over and there's like a bottle of fixative over there. I haven't used you in years. You still exist?
For anyone not aware, Kesha just lives next door to like a filing cabinet with literally everything in existence in it.
What was the thing you dragged out of there very recently?
Yeah, it was similar to that. Like we used hairspray, but we did have like proper fix-it. We did have proper sprays for actual artists, but I was not one of those.
And you couldn't be trusted with flammable things like hair fixative, so they gave you hairspray.
And chalk.
Yes, the other also well-known flavor.
Try to eat chalk to poison yourself. It doesn't work. You just throw it up. It's genius. You cannot harm yourself with chalk.
That's not why they gave me chalk and charcoal, guys. I was incredibly stressed, and yes, I was quite depressed, and yes, I have issues. But I was not that level.
No bummers, me.
Well, did you know that in the original version of Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf was eating chalk to get its voice lower, like sound more like feminine?
No.
Yes! Holy shit! That's in like the really old.
Little Red Riding Hood.
I had. Sorry, you flashbanged me with like memories.
Unlocked a memory. It was lost, but now it's returned. You can take it off the list. Yay!
I've definitely mentioned this. I had like multiple records. What's the magnetic tape ones called where you listen to music?
Cassette.
Tape.
Cassettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, tapes and cassettes. I had multiple cassettes of children's bedtime stories when I was just a little boy. And one of them was Little Red Riding Hood. And in it, the wolf eats chalk. And then the voice actor for the wolf just goes singing. And he's doing like falsetto, like, la, 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 la. He's just doing like...
Why?
Like he's just
Is that what
I
chalk
remember
does?
that also from my childhood, from stories like that from cassettes, because that always confused me. I was like, why would anyone eat this shit?
Why would that do that to your voice?
I don't
not
know.
like helium.
This might be like old wives' tales or like a stage play kind of thing. It's like, oh, you're doing like a high pitched character, chew chalk before you go on stage. It helps with the voice kind of thing. It could be like one of those.
I don't know either.
For the references, I'm going to have to look this up. I'm going to have to figure out where this came from.
Good luck.
Thank you two very much for this. That's so strange.
Remind me, I'm going to see if I can find the like audio because it's so fucking wild. Oh my God.
It might literally have just been like back in the day, like women did anything for like to get the attention of men. And like if they ate chalk and they would sound a little bit sweeter or more feminine, they had a higher chance of...
There's no way
maybe
it does
it's
that.
makeup.
It's not. It would just make you cough, and it would get in your lungs.
It's the same thing as women in Gregorian times painting themselves with lead because they would be whiter. Doesn't really fucking make sense. You fucking die, bitch.
Yeah, I wonder if it probably has something to do with makeup. Like, for example, if it's a theatre, maybe you just painted it up paler so that you could pass as feminine on the stage. Like, maybe that's just a tradition. But I will have maybe a definitive answer. References later.
I'm sorry. Chalk. Don't do it.
We're doing a full stop of the podcast here. We have to look
this up. The wolf was wrong.
I agree, but I have to point this out. I googled eating chalk high-pitched voice, and Google was just like, it will not. It's a myth, and you might have something called pica, which is like the need to eat chalk, which is like a disorder.
It's just an excuse that the big pica came up with to sell you chalk.
To sell you more Pikachus.
Oh my God.
The voice actor for Pikachu eats chalks. That's where it comes from. All right, there you go.
No.
Easy solve.
Easy
solve. Good solve. Good job, Aethel. All right, Aethel.
Oh,
what do you got?
I'm number 2.
You are now, yeah.
So, just to explain why my list is going to be quite shit. I have many things I've lost. And if you'd asked me this question 10 to 15 years ago, I probably could have listed off a bunch of things. But I don't know exactly when this happened, but I made an unconscious decision to stop caring about these things. It's like I either don't throw them away and I keep them, or I throw them away and I'm okay with it. And part of that has become like I've forgotten all the bullshit that I used to care about. I have distinct memories of caring, like, oh, why do I not have this anymore? Oh, I wish I had that. I don't know what it was anymore. I don't remember what I was moaning about.
Instead, you just refuse to let yourself have objective permanence. And as soon as it's out of your sight, it never existed. Schrodinger's thing, I lost.
Like an obvious one would be like I had a collection of the Walking Dead original comic books. And when I moved, I just made the decision, like, I don't want to carry around 14 fucking volumes of Walking Dead, and I'm just going to throw them away. And I just threw them away. Like, and I don't miss them. I'm not like, oh no, my comic books. It's just like they're gone. I don't seem to lose shit very easily, I assume. So
I mean, if you make the conscious choice of throwing them away, you don't lose them.
You haven't lost them. I think, I don't know. So my list is going to be shit because number 3 is I've lost my ability to party all night. That's what I miss.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was younger, go clubbing with my friends. And my favorite part of clubbing was to stay up until 4, 5, or 6
Oh, you mean
a.m.
like clubs, not like clubbing the... I got it. Okay.
No.
Guacamole.
No
Iceland
no
activities.
seals were harmed in the making of my entertainment. No, we went party clubbing, you fucker. And my favorite memories, it's so dumb. I was never one for like one night stands and like trying to hit on girls at clubs. That was just not my thing. So my favorite memories are when the clubs are closing and me and all my buddies stumble out drunkenly into the haze of the morning light. It's the wind is cold or the air is like biting, and we like wander to the next like fast food place or a kebab shop, or to my old place, which was really close to downtown, and we just sit around and drunkenly talk for like an extra hour before we passed out, and like
buying giant chunks of milk and just cuddling them all night.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I went home alone that night. Nobody was there to stop me from buying bananas and milk.
I miss my alcohol tolerance because I will have a beer and be kind of drunk. And I used to be able to hang, you know, but yeah.
I've also lost my alcohol tolerance like completely. I was never good, but holy shit, like, and it sucks. Like, you're Icelandic, you're supposed to have like a high alcohol tolerance, Vikings, rah rah rah. But nope. I've always been easy to drink under the table. So.
I was 19, 20 in a band with every member being like well over 21, and we moved together across the country, and like, of course, I was drunk all the time. I had a pretty good tolerance. We were always playing shows and stuff, like bars, like it's just around it.
Yeah, I used to be able to very comfortably and very easily, as many of you know, just stay up to like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the morning after very little sleep, and be totally fine. Yeah, I was a little bit crabby. Yeah, I probably should have, drunk a bit more water to actually get through the day clear-headed. But yeah, I kind of miss like being able to stay up super late and not feel many effects of it whatsoever. And I'm not just talking about drinking. The drinking days are an absolute haze in my memory of how much I drank, and how much I tolerated and how much stupid and dangerous shit I did. I don't think I'm quite as light as you are. I can still hold a fair amount. But
light.
I don't. I can't deal with the migraines, so I just don't drink to that level anymore. But no, yeah, I kind of miss the ability to just be able to stay up and it not fuck me over for days on end, which we had to do when we recorded the finale recently. We were just like, yep, this is 2 weeks of being up until like 5 in the morning and I am fucked for weeks. It sucks. It so sucks not having that ability anymore.
I just remembered that the word for having low alcohol tolerance in Iceland is hænuhaus or chicken head.
What?
Yep, that's the word for having low tolerance.
Chicken
head.
Are you like basically calling someone who doesn't drink a pussy with that?
No, I don't think
it's like a lightweight.
Yeah, it's our word for lightweight. Yes, thank you. Good one. No, so what? Wait, so okay, chickens. There's the female male chickens are called roosters. Female chickens are called
hen.
Okay, it's hen head then. It's very specifically the female chicken.
It still doesn't make sense. It doesn't fix it.
Well, nobody's calling someone a pussy. We do it anyway.
I didn't need to know its gender.
Just trying to be accurate in my translations.
God.
That's something I cannot empathize with because I never went clubbing. I never drank alcohol. I was just, nope, not for me.
Did you never used to like stay up late watching or reading stuff? Because that was also another reason why I stayed up late at night. I just watched too much TV.
So for me, staying up until midnight was considered very late. Because my mom would really, like, we had like, when I had a computer and I lived with my parents, like, we had a workroom, quote unquote, which was right next to my parents' bedroom. And my mom would always come in if I stayed any longer than 1 a.m. and she would be like, "Go to bed now!" And I'm like, okay. I had no computer in my own bed, in my own room.
Yeah, when you lived with your parents, but then you moved out and you started staying up until 4 a.m.
No,
watching anime.
It stayed a habit. I was like, nah.
You are such a good human being.
No, like I stayed up watching anime like in my teenage years, like so no.
I was someone who's always like a very scheduled person. Like I need my rhythm, and like staying up late at night is gonna cause me to like sleep in, and then my entire schedule is gonna be off, and I couldn't deal with that. On an emotional level.
You're a much better human being than the rest of us. We're just like, I'll indulge. I will read this book until 3 a.m. and go, I'll go to school in 3 hours. I'll just keep reading.
Time doesn't exist until I look at the clock.
Yeah.
I'm not late until I look at the clock, yep. Oh, all right. Neil, you're up next. What have you got?
My things. Are you, as Europeans, aware of what Craigslist is?
Yes.
Okay, then that skips this part of the conversation because every American is already on the same page.
Oh no, he lost his Craigslist.
I lost the list.
He lost Craig?
His list of Craigs.
Oh, yeah.
So it used to be popular, and I think it still is popular for this instance, but I think Facebook Marketplace also kind of has a lot of places that have taken over this because it's a little more safer than Craigslist, I guess. But it used to be a place where it was common to find people to not sell things necessarily, but also trade gear. And so I used to take music gear and trade it around on Craigslist quite often. And I haven't done that in like well over a decade. And I definitely have some things I would trade, but I'm just like not moving as fast as I used to. You know what I mean? But Craigslist, I used to trade things around. And some of the gear that I traded, I wish that I had not. So one of the things that I traded, the first thing that I'll go over, is an amplifier. It was like my first, I'm going to buy a nice amplifier. And it was a Vox AC30, and it was just the head. It wasn't the whole thing. I had an orange cab that I connected it to, but it was just the head part. It was the AC30 CCH. And I really kind of like missed the sound of it. I used to record a lot on it, and so I like have old recordings to go look at, and they're not even good recordings, but like I just can tell that I like the amp. And I traded it, and I have what I traded it for right behind me. I could show.
Props.
Ooh.
Goddamn.
It sounded like it was full of broken glass.
I traded it.
Minorly concerning, yeah.
I traded it for a Fender Blues Deluxe reissue, 40-watt combo. I think it's 40 watt. I don't actually know. I can't tell. And it's not been used. I've had it for like over a decade. It's gathered a lot of dust. I scraped some ketchup from Whataburger off of it.
Neil, its resale value is plummeting. Stop talking.
It's actually surprisingly, this tweed material that it's like wrapped in, it's very, you can't really see it on camera, but it's like a cloth material.
Yeah.
It's like a white and yellow cloth. Yeah, it kind of looks like
matte plastic here, yeah.
Yeah, it's like white and yellow cloth. And it can stain pretty easily. Usually it ends up in rough state. So this is actually in not bad condition for what these things usually look like. But I will say that I have an amp that is bigger than this, and that it is like my main amp, which was probably 2-3 times more expensive than this. And this is much louder than that amp. This thing, it gets loud. It's not that I hate how it sounds. I know what I wanted at the time that I traded this for, but I didn't necessarily have the value in the Vox AC30 CCH. It was probably about $800 at the time. I was probably doing like a $600 value trade, which is not inaccurate for this. It's probably still about that much. But I think that at the time I was really enamored with the idea of having a Fender, what are they called? Twin reverb. I really wanted a twin reverb. And this isn't necessarily that, but it's kind of gotten me the flavor and given me the realization that I think even if I did land on a twin reverb, I don't think that would be like my end game amp or anything. So I think that, I now just have an amp that I haven't touched it. This isn't the only one. I have like 3 in there that I haven't touched.
So if anyone wants to hit up Neil for some amps,
I have
going at a reasonable
Rev
price.
D20 that's sitting in my closet. I have a matchless Chieftain, which I might talk about at some point.
So, Neil has a yellow amp, and he has more amps.
More amps.
What color are the amp
Neil?
that you want?
And then I have my recording amp.
You're not selling
We
out.
can't get rid of that. We actually need you to have that, please.
I need to have that.
So is Craigslist just completely dead now?
I think it's. I was on it when I thought of this. I went and checked. I still see people active, like trying to trade and sell music gear and stuff, and it's still kind of like there's a couple like websites that do this same thing. But again, mostly this is all moved to Facebook. But there used to be a website, which is where I met the band members that I had for a while, where you can go and put yourself on your profile up for musicians in the area and stuff. So I think it's still used for like connections like that, art and business connections. It used to be like a find a job type site type thing, things that other websites would charge you for.
Yeah.
It's still used a little bit.
We have a similar website just for computer parts. It's called Wachten. And my friend used to be super active on it. And he never, for like 8 years, he didn't pay for a single computer part. He just kept trading computer parts and ended always up with like more stuff than he bargained for. So he managed to like sell that, invest that. And like he didn't spend a krona on his rig for like 8 years because he was just trading and just kept upgrading.
It's like the guy in America that like traded a paperclip to a house.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that one is, but I've heard the same story, dude. I've heard the same story.
I think that those things are bullshit. I think that you can do that if you have a platform and you're content making, because like you can go on the street and do the first part, but when we get into the thousands of dollars, you're going to be dealing with your fans who want to be a part of the video to make those up trades, because not everyone wants to trade down. I've traded down a couple of times. This isn't necessarily one of the times I traded down super hard on, but I have some down trades, where I just wanted to try something new more than I wanted to get the money out of the resale of the item. So I was okay with taking a little bit of a loss on a trade. Done that a few times.
I've never been into like social trading and buying off websites. I've done it like 3 or 4 times in my life, and every single time I'm standing there in front of somebody's door or like pulling up in their like driveway, and I just get that like, liver will regrow, kidneys are permanent damage. Okay.
You should meet, and I don't. I know that where you live is weird, but like usually you meet in public places. Like I've done guitar trades like at a public mall's food court or in the parking lot at the mall. Usually people will meet outside a police station.
That feels way less skeevy. I've literally walked into people's like homes, and they're just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna like I think I bought my video card from one dude, and I just walked up to his apartment building and like rung his doorbell.
I have done that once.
It feels so skeevy. You're just like,
that's usually how it works over here.
Yeah.
I was trading a guitar, and he needed to verify that it worked and everything. And yeah, like. We didn't meet at a Guitar Center or anything. And just like I live with many other people who were always on. We didn't have like a fear of this person or anything. So, yeah, wasn't safe. Wouldn't recommend it. But I sold a guitar at some point that way before. A bass guitar, a Fender Geddy Lee American bass. I think it's a jazz bass. I can't remember. I never played it. No, I sold it on Craigslist to that man that I invited into our house.
Oh, sorry, you were the salesman. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I picked that up. It had a couple issues. I paid to get them fixed and just offloaded it. Because as I'll talk later about, I had a different main bass guitar at the time, and that was like a backup guitar that I had in the back pocket to trade around anyways. And I never fell in love with it. So
good enough reason to sell it and part with it.
Yeah.
All right, Kesser, what have you got?
So to bounce off of the thing you mentioned earlier, art school. Back in the day when I still lived with my parents and I finished that art class I kept riling on about, I didn't know what to do at the time. Like usually after that class, you're supposed to, find a job or find a uni place. And I really didn't have, I think I did both. I applied for several apprenticeships in the area, but the places were all, like, there are limited places where I am now. And so I applied at a uni place in Nuremberg, which is like an hour and a half away from here. And I went there with 2 of my friends from the art school that I went to. And like it was one of those things where you had to do like a test. Like you had to present an art collection. Like you had to make a map of physical artwork that you did and present that. And then there would be teachers that would rate your art. And then after that, you would have to stay there for 3 days, I think it was, in which you had to absolve several different kinds of art tests. And like you were given different assignments, like we had to metamorphosize like a shoe into a fish or something like that. I don't know if that was like the thing that everyone had, but I do remember I had that. Like we had to paint 3 pictures of like a shoe turning into a fish and stuff like that, or like make a storyboard for a short movie or something like that. And between my 2 friends that I was there with, we stayed like at a friend's place. Like one of the friends had a friend, and we stayed at their place because it was a 3-day thing, and it's like an hour and a half away. And between the 3 of us, I was the only one that actually got admitted to, like, I got a place in that uni. But during that time, this was like in 2010, I think, I started a relationship with my ex at the time, and I was kind of between the tables. I was like, either I give up the uni place and move to my boyfriend at the time, or we keep having a long distance relationship for 3 years. And I was really ready to I didn't really, I don't know. I felt like at the time I was not ready for uni because I'm not a learner kind of person. I'm a doer kind of person. Mm-hmm. And I said, fuck it, I'm not going to take this uni place and I'm going to move in with my boyfriend. And I see because he lived in the media center, the quote unquote, that's what we call it, like the place that has the most media savvy companies in the area. So I moved there and with the hopes of getting an apprenticeship there, which I did. But I gave up the uni place. And now in hindsight, I kind of wish I had done the uni first. Because it was a lot of fun being in the preliminary art schools that I was at before, like just hanging out with creatives and stuff like that. And I feel like I could have probably grown in a different way if I had stayed there. And in hindsight, that relationship was trash to begin with. But like, if I had stayed there, I would never have met you guys, and I would never have started like my writing Counterbalance or done audio drama or anything like that. But I still kind of wish I would have gone there.
But fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
Also, Cassie, I can't help but notice that you tried to shoe in Animorphs with the whole literal shoes and the fish thing. I'm quite upset with you. Literally shoe in.
I latched onto that. I was like, I've read Animorphs. I know. I understood the assignment.
I have 100%. Your life has been preparing you for this one moment. Shoe.
I have a book where the boy turns from a shoe to a fish. I can just copy that. Yeah.
I do have the artwork somewhere, or like at least I have photos of it. Because I sometimes when I go through my old artwork photos, I still see it. I'm like, why did I do that? Oh yeah, I remember now.
Why was I drawing a shoe? Okay, so first we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Your anime ass sounding like introduction. Like you go to a school and there's like the teachers and they ask you difficult questions. And if you get in, you still have to do the 3-day trial. Like this is some anime bullshit. Like this is the
fun fact. When we had to present our map, most people who did exclusively anime were immediately disqualified. I'm so happy I have some stuff from the art school I did before when I didn't do animes. So I had a mix of both.
It probably gets to that same point where you're like, I have seen the 500th big titty anime girl. Give me literally anything else. I can definitely see that.
I promise you, if they just drew some like thirst trap NSW bullshit,
right?
Then
like you can act like you were better than everyone else, Miss Art Teacher at the college, but I make thousands drawing Rule 34 things. So like, fucking, I don't know, yeah.
There was this funny meme that was going around that was like, our teachers everywhere are like, I don't want you drawing fan art, like fan art sucks, don't do fan art. Then proceeds to present you like hundreds of pictures from the biggest religious fandom that is out there.
Yeah.
Here's my Jesus pictures. I'm a big fan.
Here's my fan art of like a Picasso, just like it's all in his style. It's just like fan fiction at this point.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that definitely would have been a cool experience, and I'm sorry you missed out on that. That does sound cool.
I'm sad.
Well, guys, remember, no bummers. We have to pretend to be okay with this. Oh, you guys have to pretend to be okay with this.
I mean, on the contrary, I got my apprenticeship, which was extremely hard to get. Like even fucking there, I sent like over 400 mailings out. What are they called? Applications. And I only got one on accident because the other guy, the guy that was there before me, cheated.
Oh, God.
I'll admit I have never gone through the like multiple application thing. Like when I did it as a young adult when I was trying to get an electric job. I could never do it for more than like 10 places before like my spirit was wholeheartedly broken and I was happy to go walk the streets as a parking officer again. Like, I did not.
Absolutely no choice in the scales of country in which we come from.
Yep.
Like if you can't just walk the streets and find another job. That's just not how that happens. And like, yeah, I think in my time looking for apprenticeships, like I probably spent well over 100 myself. And when I quit the job that came from an apprenticeship, I sent hundreds of messages out to all kinds of jobs, just like, hey, I need a job. I'm willing to work. I'm extremely dedicated. A lot of them didn't reply. Some of them were like, you're not qualified enough. You haven't done enough years. I'm like, I've done 5 years, asshole, in an apprenticeship. What the fuck? And other people just like, you're too qualified. We don't want you.
Oh, no. It literally broke my heart. Like when at my job, my boss wanted to get a new apprentice. And like, since we're only 3 people there, like we went over all the applications and we did our favorites and stuff. And then we had we narrowed it down to like maybe 3 people that we called in for, because my boss likes to do like a little testing in addition to the interview, where he makes people build like a little, a cube out of paper, a paper cube. Because people that cannot build a paper cube on their own have no, they cannot imagine shapes in their head. And like, we don't need those kind of people in our job because we're doing like technical stuff. But anyway, that's like beside the point. Like we had like narrowed it down to like 3 people, and then we decided on one guy.
It's origami contest. Yeah.
We decided on one guy, and he started, and he was with us for like a week. And then he quit because he said like, nah, this job is not for me. I would rather do something that is like with the hands and stuff, like do something like with wood or like woodworking or something like that. He didn't like that it was like a computer job. And I'm like, my guy, there were over 100 people that did not get their chance because you did not do your fucking research on what this job entailed.
Yep. I remember having, so I was an apprentice, and then 2 years later we got more apprentices, and I was like, all of us apprentices helped interview the new apprentices, and we ended up getting 2 apprentices instead of 4. And then some guy who was on the same level course as them lost his apprenticeship, like his workplace, not his school place. And my job went, okay, tell you what, we'll make an exception. We were only going to take 2, but let's take 3. Let's take the guy who's already started the course. And this guy was fucking useless. He didn't lose his job because he was shit. He lost the job because they had a load of redundancies that happened, unfortunately. But he was so bad. He didn't try anything. No. He was constantly the guy just like, hey, can you go like empty these things, and it's going to be your job to make sure that these are constantly emptied and that these things are refilled. You'd have to tell him it was empty, and you'd have to tell him how to refill it. Like, no, like initiative whatsoever. And
please, in post edit, make sparkles over my entire screen. Men.
I'm just going to zoom in on you and just put sparkles on. I'll figure out how to do it. But it was just like, I mean, to be fair, all of us, like previous apprentices, we had 3 other guys in my apprenticeship year. Everyone else seems to absolutely perfectly master this like simple task, but this guy, nothing. And it was generally so heartbreaking. Like we could have had a 3rd one. You literally got another guy in because he was already on the course, and we interviewed so many people that were so good. There was a guy who was exactly like me, except I finished with bad courses for my college, and he didn't. He went to do something else. He looked after family, same as I did. But we didn't pick him. I'm like, he is exactly like me. He's older, and he really wants to teach this job. And instead, we took this shit kid who wasn't even interviewed. It's like, oh, it's so gutting when like you have people who have such an opportunity and they waste it. It's so shit.
Yeah, I do remember like, since he was only there for a week, we called the other people that we had interviewed, but they both already got a place. I'm like, good for them, because they deserved it. They were infinitely better than what we got. But we had to brush out a lot of people. Like I think it was around the time when like the people from Ukraine were coming in, and there were genuinely some really good people in the mix. Like we should have gone with those.
It's another one of those regrets from the past.
Yeah.
But of course, like, you know,
but it's not my loss, so
Nah.
yeah, not your loss. But like circling back to like choosing not to take the place after all. Yeah, you don't know where your life would be without it. Maybe you'd be in exactly the same place. Maybe you wouldn't. That's the issue with uncertain choices from the past, big or small.
yeah.
Brother, chaos theory, man. Like, if you had a different car, your entire life would be different. Like, we don't know these fucking things. So,
If you had a different tooth, your entire life would be different.
Schrodinger's thing you did. Is this how you're supposed to use that?
Aethel with Schrodinger.
Superposition of your job. This is a rather superposition for you to be not doing the best job.
All right, let's stop annoying Aethel. So, when I live... No, how far back in the story do we go? Let's go back. Let's go way on back when. To the beginning. I used to be a child.
millions and millions of years ago.
I was not a child millions of years ago.
What? Big reveal.
Oh,
Big reveal. I used to be a child.
Children are
my
not allowed
God.
in Blighthouse Studio.
So when I was young, I was about 11. I was turning 11. And my mum and my dad took me without my brother to Wales, where we had a lot of holidays growing up. And boy, howdy, that place got boring quick. Anyway, one of the first times that I really remember being there, I was turning 11. And we stayed with this really nice couple called Keith and Maureen. They lived in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in Wales. And Keith was a carpenter. So he used to do big housing jobs. But he also used to turn wood into tiny, smaller furniture, like kind of handmade, bespoke for your house. I still have one of these pieces.
A chair.
Wow.
It is a tiny little, like, milkmaid stool. It's very, very low. And when I was 11, this was a perfect height for me.
Wait. This is stuff you lost. Do you want back? You still have that. Disqualified.
It's this is part of the whole.
This is just a story. This is just a lead up.
This is the lead up. So I got this little, like, my parents got this little milking stool for me because the joke used to be I was the daughter of a milkman and not my father because the milkman was exactly like my dad. I don't know why they thought this was funny, but it was to them. So I was forever called milkmaid, and that's why I have a little milking stool. Anyway, we went back a couple of years later and my parents then bought a very low wooden table. It's kind of like one of those little side tables. It only came up to like just above my shins. And this little stool fit perfectly underneath it. They were both handmade by Keith. This little table I used as a bedside table for many, many years. After my mum passed, I just took it. I was like, this is mine now. And I put it in my house. However, when I left the UK and left basically the entire contents of the house to my ex-husband, so there would be no arguments, that table is still there. And I no longer have that table, but I really want it. I lost it in the divorce kind of by accident, and I really want it.
Give it back.
Because it goes with my tiny milkmaid stool, which I can't use because I'm a 37 fat old woman. I can't sit on this stool anymore. So I want my table back.
Yeah, Greg.
It's the only thing I'm missing. So I miss the table for sentimental reasons and practical reasons, because I would just like to have it back. Like having that little table low down next to me when I'm recording on the side, I can put all my little bits and pieces. When we're recording like in person, I can have an actual tiny little table rather than another chair. I just put stuff on. It would just be nice to have it. And yeah, it has a lot of sentimentality. So I very much would like back that tiny table, not Greg.
Why don't you just contact Clive again and just get another table? He's totally alive still.
Oh, Keith? No, Keith was like 80 when I was 10.
All right.
Yeah, he was at retirement age, but he just didn't retire. He just kept making like wooden things. And his wife was also like really talented at woodcrafting as well. But well, after he passed, she just didn't really do it much anymore. So yeah. I didn't realize how like emotionally annoyed I'd be by the lack of that table until I started talking about it.
Give me back my table!
I just want it back. I'm not angry. This is kind of my own fault. I should have done like a better check around the house just to make sure I grabbed all of my stuff. But I was trying to move as little as possible because I couldn't afford shipping when I moved to Iceland. I couldn't afford anything, honestly, when I moved to Iceland. Everything was on the credit card. And I left a lot of stuff at my dad's until I was actually able to pay for everything to be shipped back in small pieces through the post office. So yeah, I didn't want to make a fuss. We tried to be as amicable as possible when we got divorced, and yeah, I'm glad things turned out the way they did. But yeah, not Greg. I would like my table back if you have it. That's
you have
it.
You have to post the announcement on not Greg's list.
A joke. 3 seasons in the making.
Holy shit.
Okay, so can I not just get you a small table?
No. It was not handcrafted by a 70 or 80-year-old Welshman.
Okay, well, my great-grandfather who used to do woodcrafting is unfortunately passed away, so I can't get him to do it.
We can't send him to
You can
Welsh.
look around if you can find one that he made.
I don't want a replacement. I want that one.
What if it's an old... slightly inbred dude who makes woodcrafts in his basement? Would that be okay? Is that the criteria?
Ethel, you have to stop making these jokes for yourself.
I'm also making a joke about Craig or whatever his name was, Clive. I am hurling insult at that old man with no care.
Oh, okay. His name was Keith. His name was Keith.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want a replacement table. I don't want like a different table. I just want that table back. It like came from one of the very few like good holiday memories I have with my parents because it was just me and my parents for a change because we always had my other brother with me, or my nephew and nieces are around, or my other brothers and sisters who are older than me were around. And it's just one of the very few holidays we just had on our own. It was really good and really nice experience. And Keith and Maureen are lovely human beings, or they were. I assume they passed on at this point. At least Maureen. But yeah, I want that table. There's no replacement.
We can try to rally all of our Blighthouse resources and make a petition that people that are listening
have to be careful. We can't say it, but I think most of what you're saying.
And then send it to not Greg. A petition with like at least 500 signs that you want your table back.
The thing is, I know.
Rally an audience of people to
the thing is, I know
someone.
that I could just message him on Discord, or I could just message him on Steam and just be like, "Hey, not Greg. Any chance I could have that table back?" And the answer would probably either be yes or I have no idea where it is.
Do it.
It wouldn't be that hard, but I haven't spoken to my ex-husband in 8 years. And I think for both our sakes, let's keep it that way.
No! Get that table!
If not, I'll get my brother of my heart to ask him, but I don't think that they speak much either anymore, so...
I'm so disarmed. I can't make fun of shit here. I can't make fun of the woodworker. I can't make fun of your ex-husband. And I can't make fun of you. So I'm very disarmed in this moment.
You're going to have to table those thoughts for another time.
Very
Nailed it. Wouldn't it be nice if we moved on to Ethel?
Like I said, my list is going to be shit.
Sorry, I'm laughing at my own pun. I'm sorry.
I'm glad. I'm glad somebody's laughing at it. When I was quite young, I didn't own a lot of things. Most of the things I owned were hand-me-downs from my brother or gifts from my family members, which was usually hand-me-downs from their kids. I grew up in like a bubble of kids being born, so like there were so many hand-me-downs. But I had a very specific niche hobby, which was video games. I loved video games. I loved video games and cartoons. Those were my things. And like in a weird, different way that other kids didn't love. So for some ungodly reason, I still don't understand to this day, my parents for Christmas got me a Super Nintendo. Just randomly. I never got huge, cool Christmas presents in my memory, but just randomly, that was just one year. I think Dad just must have fished so many fishes, and he was just like, I got money, I can spend it on a console, like a little video game thing for a thought. And
I thought he fished in Super Nintendo out of the
yeah, like just randomly they just gave me a Super Nintendo, and it was awesome. And I had a couple of cool games. I don't have very high memories of a lot of them, but like I remember like playing Super Mario World, rented from a borrowed from a friend, and all that good stuff. Here's why my list sucks. I sold it, and I miss it. So. At some point, I think it's around the time I had a PlayStation 2, I wanted a TV screen for my bedroom. And even though I had money in my fucking bank account that I'd earned doing summer jobs, my parents were like, well, like, you need to earn money to buy this TV. And I was just like, what? Like, I have money. Like, no, you have to make money. Like, do you really play this thing anymore? And I'm like, no, like, it's just in the closet. Well, why don't you sell it and use that money to buy a TV? So now I don't have my fucking Super Nintendo. And I don't have that TV. That TV was like 15 inches. It was fucking tiny.
Oh, no.
So I miss my Super Nintendo. I wish I could play the terrible, terrible Batman game and that terrible, terrible Mask game. And I genuinely don't have a strong memory of what my games were. All the games I had were pretty fucking shit.
Donkey Kong Country was awesome.
I had Donkey Kong Country. You're right. Holy shit.
Donkey Kong Country was the shit.
That's like one of the few
Super Mario
games.
World.
I didn't own that one. I got to borrow it, but no, yeah. It was I miss that console. Like, I wish I had it. I wish I had a reason to go out and buy myself a CRTV and set up a retro station to play old video games. I wish I had an excuse, but I don't. I don't have my Super Nintendo. I don't even have my PlayStation 2. That shit died when I was younger. And then my most recent console was an Xbox 360. You can guess if it died or not. It fucking did. Those things were made out of garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as soon as you got the disk drive stuff, it was like you put a really limited lifespan on shit. But those old consoles, they could last forever.
So I miss my Super Nintendo.
I have an original Nintendo that I purchased. I didn't grow up with it. And then someone has, I don't think I have, the original Super Nintendo. And I think I have Plock for that somewhere, which is an obscure game that's actually really fun. And then I saw the N64 the other day, so we have the N64 still, but our controllers are junk. So, yeah, I understand losing like nostalgic things. I lost my Pokemon cards in a garage sale, and for probably like $2. So like they were definitely in poor condition. But, you know, it's those nostalgic things that you have that, like, you end up trading for something that has a much more limited lifespan than the nostalgia that you had for the original object.
Yeah. Sorry, you mentioned garage sale. I just saw a video recently where a dude was in a garage sale and you see him, like, pick up his phone and he's just like, so how much for the Switch? He says, waving a Steam Deck. And the mom's like, I don't even know if it turns on. If it turns on, $50. Yeah, turns on. Here you go. $50.
There are people that turn that into like a living and just go around trying to find deals and stuff like that to flip things.
I couldn't imagine like choosing that as a job. I get incredibly stressed when I buy stuff anyway, let alone having to then sell it as well. Like, I'm on all sides of hating that transaction.
Yes, I usually hate that. I did find an interesting one recently, though, with specifically music gear, because music gear is in a niche little bubble of like, it has niche value sometimes, like old stuff, like weird stuff, like it doesn't matter. Some stuff just like it has collectible value. It has like some guy like they stopped making these in the 70s, and sometime in 2000 some dude released a record that had one of these on it, and now you can't find these for under like thousands and thousands of dollars because everyone wants them. Like weird shit just becomes valuable, and like putting yourself in that bubble and having a knowledge of what is valuable and not kind of like gives you a superpower in those situations. And it's pretty cool to watch people kind of collect massive stuff that they can use to build things and sell them.
I know there is a weird niche market for Nintendo 64 controllers.
Yeah.
Because of Super Smash Bros, I think it is.
Well, I mean, I just told you the ones that I have are destroyed. So, I mean, all the original ones that existed are in a rough shape. So, to find nice ones is probably crazy good.
It's just one of those things. I watched like an entire video where a dude was talking about like, somebody sat down, created like a carbon copy of the Nintendo 64 controller, released it for sale because people needed new ones.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got overwhelmed as fuck and closed the thing. He was just like, I can't do this. Oh my God. I got like 300 fucking orders, man.
Yeah. The guy that I had my amplifier, my guitar, I'm going to talk a lot about music today. My guitar amplifier was rehoused in a custom wooden cabinet that I gave the dimensions for that I really wanted. That he made really nice work. We used to rent our studio space from him so that we could practice at all hours of the night or whatever, down in like an industrial park in Ohio. And he got in trouble for like the same thing, like trouble, but like he was yelled at on the internet for not being able to fill a bunch of orders for cabinets and stuff that he made that blew up, and he got overwhelmed with that. It's very funny because it's like, I got him to work on something very special for me just because like he had nothing to do, but he got overwhelmed with what he was trying to do before. But because we like saw him every day, it was, I could get him to work on something for me. Yeah.
Is that one, Mike? How's it going?
Yeah, I love that cabinet and stuff. I don't know if I can ever get rid of it. I should, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry you lost your console. Lost, big air quotes.
Yes.
You can still buy one now if you wanted to.
That feels so... I don't know how to phrase it. If I don't have it still, it feels so childish to try to get it back. Like...
We're adults. We're allowed to be childish.
Yeah, I play video games.
This is what we work for.
No, I know. It feels performative. It feels like... I don't know how to phrase this. So, like, when I see people who have, like, a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a 64, a PlayStation, a Xbox, a Sega Genesis or whatever. Like when they have all of them set up in their little glass case, and they have like all the cartridges and consoles. It feels really unnatural. It feels very like display.
This isn't how it was back in the day. It was in a stack next to the CRTV.
Yeah.
And it usually had like a drinks can on it or some shit. Just like it was never treated nicely. No, like I get the like it's preserving it in a way that's not natural. It's not in its natural habitat, right? You've taken it out of its natural habitat and you put it in a glass cage, right? But that's no different to like collecting Pokemon cards or collecting comic books. Like it's just a collection. It's just like, I like this when I was young, or I've randomly gotten into this now I'm an adult and now I'm going to collect it. For me, it's a collector's item. So I can understand when people would do that, but I mean, there's no reason that you can buy it and shove it in the corner with like drinks cans on it, covered in like coats and stuff. It'd be fine.
No, like if I don't know how to phrase this. I don't have my original one. And I can emulate the experience of playing it on my PC. Like the ROMs are genuine kilobytes. Like it's so easy to get. So like I don't know. It feel really performative. If it isn't the one I grew up with, and I'm just being like, oh look, I used to have a Super Nintendo. Is that one yours? No, that one's from Craig. So like it feels performative. Like, oh, are you gonna play it a bunch? Probably not. Like. I might play it like once or twice. Like I have a goddamn like fucking what's it called? I have a VR headset that I don't use that much. You think I'm gonna play my fucking Super Nintendo a bunch? No.
Yeah. It feels just like collector's shit, you know.
Yeah, it just feels collector shit. And I'm not a huge fan of a collector thing if you aren't hugely into it. Like, if you are hugely into Pokemon and you're collecting all the Pokemon cards, sure, that's your thing. Like, go ahead. But if you are collecting Pokemon cards because they're valuable, it's like, gross. You're gross.
Tainted the experience.
Yeah. And I guess it's also, like, in a weird way, like, let's say, I don't know how to phrase this correctly, but, like, I have a release day Charizard card. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, yeah, when I was growing up, I had a release day Charizard card. Like, oh, cool. And you preserved it? Oh, no, I bought this one online for $100,000. It's just like, what? What? Like, that feels so weird. It's like, that's not your original one. You just wasted a bunch of money on a thing.
Make them happy.
Yeah, that's like you're not preserving your nostalgia, but like you're buying. You're just using your money to like buy into the fandom.
Yeah, it's like, of course, like, if you are one of the glass case Nintendo guys, or like, I bought a Charizard card because I had a Charizard card when I was a kid and then I lost it. It got ripped up during recess or something. Like, I don't judge you for doing that. It just doesn't feel true to me, and I have to live with myself. So I'm not gonna do it.
That feels like a trope that often came up in like young adult cartoon series that is like where like especially if they're focused around like children in the school, where one kid that is like a little bit poorer off would be very excited about a thing, and then a friend who is like from a rich family gets like either has a rivalry with this character, is like, oh, I'm gonna buy everything that's on the market because I can.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna have it, not because I'm a fan, but because this thing is popular, because this person likes it, just so I can present you, hey, look what I got.
My dad bought me the better one.
Well, speaking of buying things, let's check out this ad. And we're back!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Neil, what have you got? Or not got, in this case.
Time to continue to be vain and not talk about things that I'm emotionally attached to. I've lost valuable music stuff. I've sent various pictures of some of the things that I've already talked about, and also Princess Boo, because I saw the picture. And,
Did you lose Princess Boo?
No, she's still here. No.
Okay, good.
I lost that picture of her until I found it. No, that one of the bass guitars and the amplifier that I had mentioned, I put the pictures up, and my nice thing that I had the cabinet made of. And here is a picture of the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Boop. I lost a Gibson SG bass in Heritage Cherry, dealing on Craigslist in a trade. I traded it for this guitar
that you've never played.
I thought she was
that I don't play. It's an American butterscotch vintage white
no, that's off
Corona,
white.
California, USA Telecaster. It is not my favorite thing. If you can see how the paint on this, you see that chip right there? The paint chips off, and like it's like a very hard shell plastic thing. It doesn't age well. And also the neck has a coating on it that is a similar like shell-like thing. I fucking hate it. Just make things wood. Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. Like, no offense, but like that thing looks like it's made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it doesn't look good.
I mean, I did lose in that trade. This is a trade down. I just wanted this, so I traded. But I really liked the bass that I had. The bass. Go ahead.
You just traded it because you wanted that thing? The one you have in your hand right now?
I was stopping being the bass player in the band that I was in, and I wanted to kind of do guitar for me things, and I didn't have a guitar, and I've always been in and out of music debt, and it's just easier to trade. So if I'm not going to play my nice bass for a while, I look to trade it. And like I said earlier, I just kind of accepted to do a trade down to make an easy trade for myself and get myself something nice. It's not a unnice guitar. The American Fenders are nice. This is like a lower end model of an American Telecaster. I do like the sound of Telecasters a lot. I'm not going to lie. If you A-B them, I usually always pick Telecaster. But if I got a Telecaster, it certainly wouldn't be this. I just hate the body and the neck of it, which is like the whole guitar.
Hey, there's strings left.
Yeah. You could replace the strings.
There's that black thing left.
Yeah. Many times I've considered stripping the paint off of it to the natural wood and seeing if the wood is nice and staining the wood, and also just buying a new neck. I just hate this neck a whole lot.
Just at that point, just buy a new guitar.
Yeah, I don't like the guitar very much. The bass, though.
Tried it.
The bass guitar, I sent some pictures of it. It's very nice. It is a short scale bass, which puts itself in a niche. And the band that I was in was in drop C, so it wasn't the easiest. And I hated that. But the bass guitar was nice. I still really wish I had it. The only other bass guitar that I've been recording with for years is an Epiphone Les Paul thing. It's another fucking Gibson, again with the niche, like in the sound palette of like, if you know anything about bass guitars, why are you playing Gibsons? Like, I don't fucking know, man. But I like that one. It's really cool, but again, super niche. It's been a very long time since I've had like a nice bass guitar until very recently. I can show you my new bass guitar. It's show and tell day. Like,
hell yeah!
And this makes me miss this a little less, but I still wish that I had that.
I like that Neil told us that weird music joke about like dropping C, and I got a chuckle because I knew what the joke was, but I didn't understand it.
I didn't even catch it.
This is my new nice thing. I got a very good deal. I was looking to keep some credit. This was not a bad credit decision. This was me being like, I need to like keep this card open. It wasn't meant to be as big a purchase, but it was kind of a meant to be thing. It was like 33% off or something. It was $900 off just because it had some dings in it. Hey, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to put some dings in it myself, so I don't really care. The money that I saved was very great. And it's a very nice bass guitar. It's a full scale, so a little bit less of a niche, but I'll let you go ahead and
Are they always that long?
No, it's missing
the normal
frets.
ones are. The Gibson that I lost wasn't because it was short scale. But yes, it is a fretless bass. So
Neil, you fucking psychopath.
It's like you put out a really long-necked violin. What the fuck?
Kind of. Yeah. You can do a lot of
so long, Neil.
Of the cello-y kind of like
Please
finger
clip
movements
this.
instead of like having to bend up and down, to do those kind of things. It's very.
Just like, it does look
nice.
sexy as fuck.
It's always a treat to play. I love
Neil.
Like,
it's so
having
long.
it in my hands. It's so good, right? And the sound of this bass is extremely versatile. It's very good. It has a custom like jazz pickup put into it. This is for the listeners who want to look it up. It's a Tony Franklin fretless American P bass. I used to like jazz basses a lot, if you couldn't tell by the Geddy Lee that I had mentioned earlier, but mostly just because they were shaped more like guitars, and I didn't like the shape of P basses. But I really grew to really like in A-B situations where I'm listening to both of them blind. I always pick the P bass. It's very versatile. This one, like I said, has a jazz bass pickup, so it's not like I'm missing out on that. I get the best of both worlds. It's a very versatile instrument, and yes, the fretless is a niche, but it's a niche that locks you out of very certain situations, and not really if you're like good at finding the position pretty accurately. Whatever, but like, yes, holding longer notes, a fret would be more like precision. Funny enough, the precision bass, the Fender P bass, was the first bass guitar electric bass made. That's partially true, but it was the thing that pioneered it. But anyways, the reason that it was called the Fender P bass is because it was a replacement for jazz musicians being on upright basses. that were fretless, and the precision stands for frets. So it's very funny that this is a fretless precision.
Fretless.
Because that doesn't make any sense, Tony Franklin.
I don't understand any of this.
I understood it!
Also,
oh no, he's using it like a gun. It's a Final Fantasy weapon.
I have taken this. This is
American.
just for the video people, just because I'm already here complaining about it. But this was like not flesh, and it's kind of digging into the finish a little bit. And once again, like whatever. But this piece right here, this means I've taken this apart like quite a few times. It's like a double layered thing, and it has this thing that some people might be familiar with. It drops the guitar into drop D without having to tune it. So it just like it's
that's
on like
cool.
a little hinge thingy. You can kind of see it moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's neat.
Pull the lever, Neil.
Very nice. I love this thing, and it's been a treat because I miss having a very nice bass. My other bass, I like the shape of it, but it's a shitty bass. It's not good. It's not a treat to play. It hurts my fucking fingers. It's a mess, but this has been really nice, and I'm very excited. It kind of makes me realize that I don't regret this because I think it was smart, and I think that it's more versatile. If I had purchased a Gibson SG Heritage Cherry guitar, it would have been as expensive or more expensive, and it would have been more of a niche. It would have been less versatile. I would have regretted the purchase. It would have been a dumb purchase. But yeah, I do miss it. I do miss it a lot. It was a nice bass guitar, even though it was a short scale bass. I miss it a lot. I miss a lot of things that I trade. I miss the amps that I'm looking at that I traded. I'm looking at so you can include the pictures of these amps and the thing. I'm missing my Mesa M3 carbine and my Ampeg SVT2, which weighed more than I did at the time. That thing weighed so fucking much. That thing was impossible to take to places. I miss all this music gear.
See, I'm such a hoarder by nature that if I had ever done anything like bands and like having multiple instruments, they would all still be around. I'm like,
like that Nintendo thingy.
I was made to sell that. And I'll have you know that I'm pretty sure my PlayStation 2 shit itself. I don't think I sold it. So everything shits itself around me. Oh my fucks. No. That is a very lovely looking bass. I think the fretless bass is very fun, and I think I was going to say something, but you were on a roll. I didn't want to cut you off. The fact that you have been able to hold instruments close to your microphone, holding it and putting your fingers on the things and not pulling the notes is manic to me.
Pulling the notes?
So
strumming
pulling
it?
the strings. I can't touch an instrument without making it make a noise. That is... Like my little nephew was touching a guitar the other day. He was my family was letting him play their trashy little guitar, and he's 2 years old and he's just pulling on the strings. And then he got up and did something else. I picked up the guitar to put it away, and I was strumming it instantly. And I was just like, the fuck? I'm just making noise. I'm just being annoying. And the fact that you probably have tuned bass and you're not
that bass is very in tune. You wouldn't be able to hear it though. Bass doesn't carry very well until you connect it to an amplifier. So it's not like a guitar where you'd be able to hear it. You just hear the percussive kind of slap of the thing.
Tink, tink,
and
tink,
that's very nice because on this short scale bass, I'm looking at it. That would be a terrible instrument to do slap on if you wanted to. And I kind of like slap sometimes. I've never recorded anything with slap, but it's a more aggressive sound. It's not unversatile. It's kind of a meme, slap the bass, but it's a nice sound that now I can do. It's been hard to learn. I have been learning techniques that I have been locked out of by niche basses that I can do on this that sound great. So I'm very happy with it. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome.
It is fun. I still miss that the stupid Gibson SG bass, though. I really do.
I love my new bass. I miss my old bass. I love my new bass. I miss my old bass.
An emotional roller coaster.
Nostalgia, but not practicality on that one.
Well, that's fine. All right, Kesser. What have you got or not got?
Oh,
Spicy.
I literally did this to Neil and nobody laughed. I'm so upset.
I missed it.
I thought if I did it again, it would be funny, and I was right.
I talked about this on a relatively recent episode, like a couple episodes back. I think it was the bucket list one. I used to draw a manga at one time in my life, and I lost my streak, and I could never get back into it. I miss doing that regularly. I'm a very schedule-oriented person, and I had like the schedule. I was like, after work, come home, sit down, draw. I gave myself an entire week to do the double pages. I had a system to do it. I had like in my memory, I had like an entire a folder of screen tones that I used for specific scenes. Like I knew exactly where. Like it was muscle memory at some point. I just pulled this. Yeah, this needs to go there. And like I miss that. Like that creative process of knowing exactly where everything is without needing to really sit down and think about it. Like just being in the flow of and doing that. Yeah, I'm. That's something I really miss doing. And yeah,
is it specifically the manga, or is it more general? Like I understand that like you have wrist problems, so you can't draw as much. Is that like kind of feeding into it, or is this more specifically the manga?
I think maybe, yeah. I do miss drawing that specific manga. Or like just mangas in general, because like it's a fun thing where you just storyboard your thoughts and put them in order and like give them a picture and then like work them out and move on.
Yeah, I can definitely see like you missing specifically the act of like sitting down and fucking around with the manga. Like
I recently went into my folder with all the screen tones in it. I was looking for one specific texture for a thing, and then I remember where it was roughly, or that I had it, but I had to search for it. I didn't remember what the fuck the file was called, what folder it was in. I had to actively search for it, and like that kind of like that brought back that pain. Like it was like that hurt. I was like,
you used to remember where this was in with a thought without thinking about it, and now it's
gone.
Yeah.
It's not the like exact same thing. It's just because you're talking about opening folders and shit. I was at my parents doing tech work the other day, and my mom brought me a jar. I'm not joking. A jar full of USB keys. And she needed to put photos on a USB key, and she asked me to find one. And I was putting all these USB keys, and they were full of old pictures and bullshit. And I found like my sister's old, like not dream journal, but like thought process, where she was like thinking about writing stories and like thinking about drawing things. I found all this old bullshit, and I had like a
I hate flash drives. They're always the worst feeling. They're always like some old shit.
They're full,
it's crazy.
They're full of
I had to
sadness.
borrow one the other day, and I found one in the other room that had my parents' resumes on it. And the thought went through my mind, if they might need this later, my mother's fucking retired deal. You don't need that later. I don't want to lose these for them. She's retired deal. She's not going back to work. Oh man,
the graveyard of flash drives.
There was one flash drive that made me super sad. I plugged it in, and it said like photos. The drive was like 16 gigs, and there was less than 3 megabytes on it. And I was like, how can there be this many photos if like this, it's so small? And I clicked on them, and they'd saved the thumbnails of the photos. Each photo was about 3 kilobytes. But there were hundreds of them, and I was just like, oh no.
Oh, that hurts.
Yes, that one hurt a lot.
That's so rough.
I don't know who did that, but that made me very sad.
Just shove them through an AI like upscale.
Upscale.
Grok, make these pictures bigger, and also give everybody big tits.
What a terrible idea, Aethel. I do have to say I am unbelievably impressed at your work ethic, Kester, because like you've talked about like doing the manga and coming home every day and doing X, Y, and Z, and that was your routine. And then you did something similar with writing counterbalance, like come home, I sit in the garden, I write this, and then like you always seem to have a system for your creative process when you're like in the zone. I'm always blown away. When
I think I need to be really depressed and in a bad place to get there.
No, be happy and make less.
Yeah. There's a perfect phrase online. It's I want shorter video games made by happier people that work less that get paid more.
Yeah.
The difficult part of when I was drawing my manga was also that I used to work at Haribo, and like they had like 3 shifts, and I never knew the week when I started my Monday which shift I would be on. I wouldn't know the moment they would call me. And like sometimes I was put into night shift, and sometimes I was put into early shift, and sometimes I would be put into like middle shift. And like the night shift was really bad, like for me, because I was like, my schedule.
I find it to be like genuinely violence to be like, oh, I don't know what shift I'm going on tomorrow. I find that to be just like, no, that should be illegal. Like 100%. Just
it probably is. The company I was working for, like it was like one of those in German they're called Zeitarbeitsfirma. They're like they employ people for a period of time when there's a bunch of work, and then they will just drop people just as fast because they only employ like really cheap workers for periods of time.
Did you get paid like way above minimum?
No, I got paid minimum.
Okay, so in Iceland we have something called similar to that, where like when we have tuna, sealed, I think it is tuna. When a certain type of fish is in the ocean, it happens sometimes. It used to happen every year, and it happens for a random amount of time, and it just means that there's more work to do, and kids get paid bank to do that. But that is definitely cold and just like, hey, in 8 hours you're going to show up for 16 hours, and then you're going to sleep for 8, and then work for 16, and then sleep for 8, and do the rest of the week like that.
No. No, this was just like the kind of company that I worked for was really questionable, or rather the entire practice of a Zeitarbeitsfirma is really questionable, because they will employ you to do the exact same work as the people working for. Like if I applied to Haribo directly instead of going through this other company, they got like double of what I got.
Yeah.
And the only reason we got employed is because like this company is like the contractor of Haribo, and they're like, yeah, if you need, like you have an influx of products you need to sell, we will give you employees for that time. And like they're taking a massive cut of whatever that is. Like that was completely slave work that I was working on. They're treating their workers like shit. That's why I didn't know when my shift was, like until the day off.
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope they've been smashed down by some kind of work ethics kind of thing. I hope.
No.
I'm surprised though that like you were able to go to sleep at the right time, because like so often I will be doing something and be like, it feels like 2 a.m. and I'll look at the clock and it's like 8 a.m. Whoops. I do not have a good sense of like time.
I used to be hardcore like that, but when me and V started dating, my sleep schedule started getting a lot more rhythmic. And also, she's a night owl, so I had to try to keep a really strict schedule and see if I could bend her to it. Like, if I force her to be in bed at midnight every day and up by 8 every morning, can I force her to actually sleep properly? No, I can't. It's gotten slightly better, but not much.
Yeah, not a whole bunch better. I mean, usually I sleep through the night now I've moved here, but that's not always a given. And sometimes I'll wake up and I'm awake for like 3 or 4 hours. And if I go to bed before a certain time, I don't actually go to sleep for even more hours because I'm too awake in bed for a long period of time. But if I'm just left to my own natural rhythm, I would just start going to bed later and later and later.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is.
Yep.
When I used to go to bed, like I think I had a problem with insomnia before, but it was mostly because I when I was like laying in bed, I like kept like imagining artworks and stuff in my head. Like I was planning them ahead of time. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to put this layer here and then I'm going to put this layer here and I'm going to I plotted them out. Like they just kept me awake. Like all these thoughts of like planning out stuff or like scenarios of like stories I wanted to write and like all that stuff kept me awake. But nowadays, like that is actually a thing I was contemplating if I should put it on my list. But I feel like I lost that ability of doing that. Like at this point, I'm just so fucking tired. I go to bed and I'm like, I try to imagine something and I'm gone.
Guess it's stop.
I'm just exhausted.
Guess it's stop my raging art and go to sleep. No, 9.
I can't. I'm painting something in my head.
Stop it. Put down the paintbrush. Oh. All right.
So V, to get you back on track, you keep asking this question, everyone, in the last few episodes. When you post this question, this topic to us, what made you think of this topic? What was the one thing that you wanted to put on your list, that is number 1, that prompted you to give us this topic?
So that's actually going to be on my honorable mentions.
No!
Because it's a bummer. So I decided to go for the thing because I specifically phrased it things. So I tried to stick to the things, whereas all my honorable mentions are not necessarily things. They're other stuff. But my top item that I kind of like circled around to and think, actually, this is the thing that I would really wish I got back, is something I didn't lose. I didn't lose it. My mum lost it.
No!
So my mum and I had a habit of... we both lost our first wedding rings. I lost mine in the ocean and my mum just lost hers in the armchair she was sitting in. She looked down and was like, the wedding ring is gone. She'd lost a lot of weight and like her original ring had gone. And I not only pulled that chair apart, I pulled all the cushions out, I did everything, and it wasn't there. And then when she passed, my dad wanted to get rid of all the furniture, I took a knife to that motherfucker and I pulled that chair to pieces. I had because it was a motorized one, I had spanners and I was pulling the mechanism apart. It wasn't in there. I won that ring because I have my dad's ring. I have my mum's second wedding ring. I just would like that one because it was cool. It was gold. It had little etchings in it and it had tiny little emeralds in it. It was kind of like the only thing my dad really spent a lot of money on when they got married, and I kind of really want it. So yeah, that was the thing that I didn't lose it, but it's something that I would very much like because by rights, yeah, it should really be mine, as are all the other wedding rings of theirs. So yeah, I want that one back.
You seem to remember the ring fondly. Like, was it something your mom showed off a lot? No, not really. It's just something that, if you wear rings, especially wedding rings, and they're kind of newish, and even after a few years it becomes habit, you start just twisting your rings. And she would do that a lot as she got older because she used to knit. Like, knitting was her thing when I was younger, and it was constantly thick. She always had something going on in her hands. And then when her hands got too arthritic and she got too ill to actually knit, she would just start spinning her ring. And it's just something that I just kind of remember her doing. So I kind of remember the ring quite a lot because it would often be like, all right, you have to stop doing that. We need to do something else right now. Like, you have to, grab hold of something. We have to get you standing, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just that was her ring. She had it for 2 years before I was born. And yeah, it persisted right up until the year before she passed. So I kind of I would like that ring. I didn't lose it, but yeah, it's just something that, my parents had, and it would be nice if I still had it. But
Alas, that chair fucking ate it. But do know, I got revenge on that chair. That thing got broke to shit by the time I had finished with it. Because not only did I have to get it out of the house and I tried to, find the ring, I also had to get it in the back of my car and get it to, the dump because it was really bad chair, degrading. It was horrible. So yeah, it did get the beating it deserved. But I'd rather have found the ring as a result, but alas not.
Aww.
There are, in my mind, 3 possibilities what happened to the ring. Number 1, and the saddest one, is the ring went down somewhere and then wedged into the cushion or whatever, and it just went so flush you could never see it. It just dug itself in there. Number 2, it fell on the floor and it got hoovered up.
That is what I think happened to it, yeah.
Number 3, it fell on the floor and one of the millions of people that passed through your parents' house grabbed it and never told them.
Yeah, I mean, that is also an option, but I kind of think it was probably the Hoover.
I like that one most.
My mum was very house proud, and it only really slipped in the last year when she wasn't really all there. But she was obsessed with everything being clean and tidy all the fucking time. So some of the house guys that came in to look after my mum, the carers, they would also do a little bit of tidying, and I think they just probably hoovered it up. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I didn't take revenge on the Hoover though, because it was still a good Hoover.
You didn't Office Space the Hoover later?
No, I did not. I did not destroy the Hoover later. It was a really good Hoover, so
it got to live.
It got to. It proved its worth. Yeah. That's it. Something weird and sentimental at the top. All right, Aethel, what have you got?
So I said that my list was going to be shit. This one is going to be a big old bummer.
We are in the top ones.
Yes.
Aethel.
No, it's esoteric as shit.
Okay.
I miss being able to discern and confidently believe world news. I know this is a weird one. 10 to 15 years ago, I was obsessed with keeping on top of, what was happening in the world. Genuinely, I was trying my goddamn best to understand the shifts and movements of the global world. And 15 years into that, or 10 years into that, I realized that everybody is lying. Everybody is lying. And they're not just lying, they have entire media, fueled machines lying for them. And when they get caught in a lie, they don't tell the truth. They tell a different lie that is undisprovable until they've dug such a big hole that they go to jail. And nobody that rich ever goes to jail. Nobody who runs the country.
Are you consuming American news?
I'm not just talking about America.
Okay, because I know that, yes, I don't disagree with anything you've said, but it's just surprising to hear.
I know it sounds America specific, but I'll give you I'll give you the one that set me down the course of not believing anything I read. In Syria, during its civil war, there was a gas attack against the people fighting the president. And it was basically just oh my God, the president gassed the oppressors. And then I read more, and there was just everybody who knew anything about the Syria civil war was just that makes no sense. He was winning. He had no reason to do that. There's no way he gassed these people because there was just no reason for him to do it. He was winning the winning the outside look, so the media, and he was winning the war itself. So there was no reason for him to do it. And then Red Cross or some UN nation was just we can't find any proof that there was a gas attack, but it was in all the medias. It was so weird.
Yeah, and it's been strange lately. The internet has really driven what was already a problem to become significantly worse, and media literacy is worse, and journalistic integrity is way worse than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of massively
stupid.
Exacerbated the problem that, previously there were some very set ways in which propaganda could be made. There were very specific, infrastructure, and we would never learn the truth because the infrastructure is so solid to get these things out there. And you never really know why it happened or if it even happened at all. But now we regurgitate headlines with the assumption that everything in the article like makes sense, but we don't really take time to read it or check the sources ourselves. And we keep reiterating that. And then it becomes a game of whispers of like, here's something. And then there's something here changes, something here changes. And then AI will get hold of it. And there's 50 different articles that aren't right. It's just made it so much worse in today's internet.
What I'm talking about has nothing to do with the AI problem that we're facing with. I'm talking about specifically when two sides are just fucking lying. And they have enough like power to keep their lies sounding straight, and there's nobody out there like that has enough evidence to disprove them. That's the thing that drives me insane. That's the thing that I wish I had, because I felt so confident in my view on the world 15 years ago, and I genuinely look out my window now and I'm just like, I don't understand any of this anymore.
Because
like,
a lot of stuff that makes the news now, it is disprovable by a 5-second Google search, but with trusted sources that you can look into. And the problem is like who is saying this? People don't care anymore who is saying what. Mm-hmm. It all is echo chambered around a bajillion times and then comes back around to everyone just believing that it is a fact with so many things. And it gets lost who the first person that said it was and how full of shit they are. You know, it really comes down to like trusting your sources and not listening to anyone on the internet that isn't like putting their name to something, which is kind of like one of the things that is starting now in video game journalism more than regular journalism. But there's already a lot of AI journalists hired by like these companies that would rather pay AI to write an article about something than they would like to pay a person to do it. And the information is just not from an actual person, and it's being construed as though it were when it wasn't. So you can't trust it. It's just a massive whatever information is floating around the echo chamber that the AI pulled from. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It wasn't made by a person that verified their sources. And again, journalistic integrity is just as important. Like it used to mean something. You know what I mean?
It fucking did used to. Yeah. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating because I want to have a grasp of what's happening. And
you don't. I promise.
I don't trust both all resources. Like all the resources feel like they're fueled by an agenda, and I'm getting so tired of it. And that's one of the reasons why I've taken or tried at least to. V is the only one who can confirm or deny, and I ask you not to do that on the podcast. Like I have tried to take a big fat step back from all these things and just like focus on your own country. Like here, the fog of war is very tiny. There's people you can specifically talk to, and they may lie to you, but then you can beat them up for it. Like there's like physical consequences to the things you're like thinking. Like you can, yeah. So I've had to try to like reel my brain way back. I don't listen to informational podcasts like I used to. I've had to take such a step back.
There's certainly an unhealthy amount of looking into things, but I think that when you get into like, I'm going to go vote for something, I think you have a responsibility.
Yes. But yeah, I knew mine was going to be a bummer. It's esoteric as shit. And I am sure that like of the 30 people listening to the podcast, 20 of them think I'm thinking of their specific thing that pisses them off about like media.
No,
like,
I think it's the internet problem.
I'm not talking about yours.
Over.
I'm talking about all of it.
I think it's genuinely like a humanity problem because the internet's come along and given so many avenues for everyone to have a voice. And people just haven't been taught to look for journalistic integrity. Some information is kind of bullshit. Like, who cares about what the video game AI is saying about a video game that it didn't play? Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about like world news and stuff, it is very important to have that integrity. And so many people don't realize how to look into people that they're listening to and discern whether or not they should be listening to them.
Yep. It's all about
and ignoring the echo chamber.
What agenda the person you're listening to has, and then having to try to filter their agenda off the top of their information.
And it takes a lot of time and energy to do, and it sucks.
It does so hard. But I don't want to go further down this rabbit hole. I'm sorry if mine was a little bit fucking weird, but it is unfortunately like...
It's an incredibly deep topic that you and I have spoken for hours at length about.
Yes, and I'm barely like my seething rage is barely been pushed down by having gotten to like berate you with this subject for multiple hours.
And unfortunately, my hey, there's only a certain thing that you can control, so engage with the things you can control, and everything else you can't control. So if you're running out of spoons. Yes, focus your spoons. Not always the thing you want to hear, but
why did the
self-preservation
internet
sometimes.
lie? Why did it
always
lie?
lies. The internet brings out the worst in people. However, talking
you mean
about
to tell me
some of the best things that come out of the internet.
Fibs? What?
I tell fibs for
some people have things to gain from bending the truth, huh?
Surely not.
We all know that the internet was made for porn and porn lies.
All right, Neil, what's on your top
God. It's something that is replaceable. I could go pick these things up again and own them, but again, like as you mentioned earlier, sometimes it's performative when you do that because you're not actually going to use the things. So I can't really justify the purchase as much as like music and stuff. So these things aren't like incredibly expensive per se, but I can't go like get these things again. It would be silly purchases. But back when Blockbusters were closing, I picked up a lot of N64 games. And one of those games is a game I like very much that was a parody of a bunch of movies. And it was like 20 games in one with this shit. It was Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Hell
and that
yeah.
game is really fucking expensive now. It's annoyingly expensive to get. And I had a copy of that I picked up for Blockbusters for like the $4 or whatever. Like they sold a bunch of N64 games used for really cheap. It was awesome. And I had a bunch of good stuff, and all that stuff is just gone. I don't know who borrowed it. I also had a collector's edition of the Xbox. It wasn't my first edition or anything of Oblivion, but I had the collector's edition of Oblivion that came with like the coin and stuff, and that was very cool. And I let the guitar player of the band that I moved to California with borrow that at some point, and then he left the band and stole my stuff. So, that's gone. But yeah, I just can't justify those purchases. It would be kind of annoyingly hard to find either of those. It's impossible to find the Xbox 360 version of that thing with the coin that is not prohibitively expensive because of the fact that it has coin. You'll see the eBay listing specify it still has the coin. Like no one lost it. It's crazy. But I think Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64 is also like over $100. And I could emulate it. You know what I mean? Like if I cared to play it, but I pretty much don't. I played the multiplayer versus bots a lot as a kid though on the thing. And then the Xbox version came out, the like remake of it. And it was okay. I had a different multiplayer though. But that multiplayer was also fun to play with bots, Wasted a lot of childhood time there.
It is the fact that you can emulate it and they're trying to sell it for $100+ that really does put that like I'm not fucking buying that.
I owned both of those, You
cannot sell me back my childhood, you fucker.
Yeah, it really is like a nostalgia cashing in, like when you're selling it for that much.
It's not even like you're stealing from Nintendo anymore. They're not going to benefit from you buying a used copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day from, whenever that game came out. They don't benefit from that. Who am I stealing from? A guy that's overcharging for collectibles? Like, woo, boo.
You're not
that
stealing
guy.
from them.
Nope.
You're
giving them $100
into their greed.
Local game shops should make money. Like, I'm not just saying that, but like, I just can't justify. I'm not that kind of a collector. It would be money that I spent and never got to see use out of. So, whatever. I used to have those things, and now I don't.
Dumb thought, just because it kind of piggybacks off like the thing we're talking about. I never owned Breath of Fire 3. I borrowed it from a friend, and then I emulated it heavily. Breath of Fire 3 is my favorite game, in case that somehow slips your mind. I think I would happily buy like a $80 copy of it just to put on my shelf, because I never owned it. It would have been genuinely my first copy.
Yeah, well,
that's the kind of like, I don't even know how to explain the rationality that my brain is doing to say that that's okay.
it's also like if I bought the Xbox 360 version of the collectible like bullshit, like I don't own an Xbox 360 anymore. Like I have a hard drive for one that has my original saves on. I could go and do those things. It would be cool and nostalgic, but I'm not going to spend the time on it. There's just not a way. I have it on Steam. I can go do that if I wanted to. It'd be cool to find my new characters, but it'd be cool for 5 minutes. You know, it would be cool to find my old characters from when I was little. But I already know like what kind of characters they were. I could remake them. It doesn't like none of it matters. The nostalgia I can easily satisfy by going and playing it on Steam. It's not that I don't have access to play these games or emulate them, you know?
Yeah.
But the collective aspect of it, just, you know, it's hard to justify spending the money on it when they got expensive.
Frivolous and pretentious. Those are the words I've been looking for to kind of understand and explain what you guys are talking about. Like, I don't want to buy this because it wasn't the original. It's just going to be a waste of money. It is, and it is pretentious to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't ever use the things. They would sit on a shelf. I mean, and that's the point of collectibles. And like, are those things that are cool enough and were big enough in my childhood that I could collect them? Yes. And if I had $1 bajillion and a bajillion time on my hands to go and do those things, would I? Maybe, but again, it would be 5 minutes of my time. And maybe if I were rich, that would be worth it. But now, I just can't justify it. It's, if it were $5 to go do this thing, I would do it, but it's not. It's just not. It's hundreds of dollars for an old cartilage that, may or may not be even fake. Like, I don't know how to look at these things. I'd have to go do research. I'd have to care a lot. And I had the originals and I cared about those. And now that they're gone, I'd have to teach myself how to care about shit again enough to like verify that I have the original stuff and,
Dumb thought. It's weird to compare it to, but it's like similar to like old movies that like you may have seen like when you were a kid that you haven't seen in years or whatever. You would happily go to the theater to see a movie that you like kind of forgot that you saw, and like, oh yeah, I'll pay like the $15, $20 entry price to see it on the big screen again. You would never pay $100 for like the film reel that you will never be able to use. Like, it's like being nostalgic for VHS tapes, but then like forcing yourself to sit down and suffer through like the horrible quality. It's like, all right, you're not cooler than anyone. I hope you know that. Like, it's if you turn 180 degrees, we have it 4K right there. Like you are an idiot. But hey, which is something that I think a lot of people attribute to vinyl and stuff on thing, which is true, but vinyl's also kind of neat. It's an analog thing. It's an analog.
It's an interesting thing, and it does actually have a genuine like quality and character to it that is interesting. It's not necessarily like lo-fi as tapes do, so it's not a fair comparison. It's still somewhat relevant. My friend bought the Proto Man Act 2 album on tapes, and I was just like, you fucking hipster piece. I'm gonna now let me contribute to that a little bit. That's fun, and tape is a neat sound, and it's a unique sound. It's a good character. It's not worthless. It is cool. However, for a collective item, tape degenerates. It does. It does something that vinyl doesn't do. It degenerates over time. Yep. It won't be a tape forever. That's what I was going to mention about VHS. Like, it gets worse. Every time you watch it, it's going to get worse. And like 50 years down the line, it's not even going to be there anymore. There are so many moving parts to like VHSs. Have you seen the inside of a VHS? What's a movie? It's fucking horrifying. It's like an alien movie. You're like, the thing is just being torn apart. Its guts are being fed through a machine. Yeah, it's horrifying. I genuinely opened a VHS to like fix it once, and I watched it pull a videotape apart. No, it by the way killed the videotape because it was broken. We had a videotape we could sacrifice. I'm going to put y'all onto something. There's a game on Steam right now that came out pretty recently to date this episode. that is like one of those shop owning simulators, and you own a video store from the 90s that's kind of like Blockbuster, and it's very cool, and you just like rent VHSs to people. It's very neat.
I know this. I unfortunately know the game you're talking about. I've seen it being passed around.
It's very
I thought
neat.
he was going to say that you can repair VHS tape recorders.
No, you get to repair old video game cartridges and game consoles.
It's fun. Sometimes they do come back broken, and you have to charge the customer for that. Then you have to rewind them in your little machine. Yeah. VHSs.
Be kind.
God.
Rewind.
Be kind. All right. Cassette. What have you got?
Bummer.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. The one thing I lost and that I dearly, dearly miss is Spoon, my silver rabbit that I had.
Yeah.
That is still to this day my avatar on Discord, on basically all my platforms that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
She, it's hard to explain what made her like a really special rabbit, but like she was one of the first rabbits that was like, she was very confident and very adventurous kind of bunny. Like most other bunnies I had before were very shy. And like there was just something very special, and yeah, she was just a special bunny, and I unfortunately lost her. And yeah, I occasionally still look at like listings on German Craigslist for bunnies that get surrendered, because I only take bunnies that are not from breeders, but from people who no longer want the bunnies. And I always look if there are any silver bunnies in my region. And I'm like, in my head, I haven't found one yet, but in my head, I'm like, at the moment I see a silver bunny, you know I'm going to adopt it. But at the same time, I know I don't really have the capacity for it right now. Because my group, as it is only just starting to really get along with each other. So I'm like, I don't want to get them through the process of refiguring out what their position is in the hierarchy again.
They need to like stabilize themselves first.
Yeah.
So I'm not a lot around bunnies, but I'm assuming that Spoon was probably the first bunny that kind of like socialized with you confidently, like you phrased it.
No, not necessarily. There were actually other bunnies before that like were also like soul bunnies to me. But I think what made her like special was that she had a longer history of where she was slowly deteriorating, I want to say, or like she started having more and more issues. Like at first she started having like some kind of kidney issues, and then she started being able to walk less and less, and like because she had spondylosis, which is like something like kind of similar to arthritis, but it's like limestone in your bones that makes it really hard for you to move your limbs. Like so she started losing her ability to hop, and like I that was the first disabled bunny I had that I really cared for. But like I cared for her a lot before because she was like very different from the other bunnies. Like all the other bunnies came from very questionable sources and like had I don't want to say broken personalities, but they were really broken.
Skittish, I think, is probably like just they would be social and then they're super afraid, like run away just because like you moved incorrectly.
Yeah, kind of maybe.
Yeah,
but like. The other bunnies that I lost before Spoon, I lost them like there was a hard cut and then they were gone. Like I lost them suddenly. It was very hard to like say goodbye to them. And with Spoon, I had like this long process. Like it was like half a year where she was slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And like on the last day, we were actually doing an AMA at that time. On that day, like there was when I was still doing speed arts. Like there's this one speed art that I still associate with that day. I know exactly which one it is, but I'm not gonna say it here. But like after we finished off the live stream that we were doing, I went inside and I saw that she was eating. She hadn't eaten anything that I had given her. So I just knew that like her time had come. So I took her onto the couch and I just cuddled her all night until she was gone. And then, yeah.
Aww.
Sorry, no bummers.
No bummers, no. I remember that
bummers.
time. I remember you sending that message and I was like, oh no, Ethel.
Yep.
Oh, that's so sad.
I mean, when you put it like that, there's a lot of things I miss.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I was a bummer reason was the reason that I thought about this topic was I miss my dad a lot. Randomly, I would just think of him. I will randomly just be remembered of him, or I'll randomly have a dream and he's being an asshole, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I miss him. My dad and I had a very... It's complicated, I think is what the kids say, right? Everything's just complicated. Yeah, it was complicated, but it's the top thing I've lost would be him for sure. It's just a bummer. But we're moving on quickly from bummers to slightly more funny. My memory. I would like to have my memory back, please. I had some really good memory skills, and now they're just fucking gone. I don't remember stuff anymore. Someone's like, oh, hey, do you remember this and this and this? And it was like a couple of weeks ago from a game we had played or a game IGN. I'm like, sure. But I know way back when, like, especially when we started TOD and someone's like, oh, do you remember this? I'm like, I remember the time, the date. I know the colors. I know every word I said. It's gone. I miss my memory too.
Oh, my honorable mention is I miss being able to read books. Nothing wrong with my eyes or my brain. I just I can't sit down and read them anymore. Time? Just
attention span.
Just discipline. I don't think it's attention span. It's discipline. It is like I know exactly when I should read a book. It's when it's warm outside, it's sunny, nice, and cozy. That's when I should crack open a book. But it's just like I don't want to do that. I want to do something else.
As soon as you do, though, you know that you will be sitting there and not being able to focus on the book because you will be thinking to yourself, there are so many other things I could be doing. You will guilt yourself out of reading and finishing the book.
There are so many TikToks I haven't watched today. I need to get
I still remember, like, in the early, like, I think it was 2018 or 19 when I was still doing, when we were still doing table reads for Counterbalance. You sent me a photo of yourself, like, just sitting in a outside reading Counterbalance episodes, like, ahead of time on your little Kindle thing.
Yeah, I got it on my Kindle.
I was like, that's so nice.
What was that?
Just someone sitting there reading my script. Malik, that's so nice. Like, most people don't do that.
Malik is a very fucking complicated character, and I knew from day one I was going to have to read the entire script to get him.
I miss being able to read books for a very different reason. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't read reams of text anymore. My eyes just start wobbling incredibly badly and I feel sick and I get headaches.
That's exactly the problem I was describing.
Yep. It's like, it's over here. What makes it worse, Kessa, it's there 2 pages that my eyes are wobbling to because it's double vision.
Oh,
it's just so bad. I hate it. Especially as I used to read books for a living and now I can't. It sucks.
I guess I miss being able to play sheet music. Like, I used to be able to read sheet music and play it on the guitar. Now that's just completely gone. There's not a piece of that memory left.
Yeah, I don't think I've looked at a piece of sheet music in almost 2 decades.
Yeah, but like, I get
close.
that feeling of like, I miss being able to read classical music, and then I go online and everybody just does the 6 lines and then 1, 2, 3. Like, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess reading classical music was useless.
Yeah, it was.
Neil, on that topic, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you like look at like sometimes you see something in comments on YouTube where people are like asking about the riffs or whatever. I don't remember what the word was, but they're like just putting like a bunch of letters in there. Like, this is a very easy music. You just play A, B, C, D, and like if you see that, yeah, is that something you can easily read?
I could read tab if you showed me tab, because tab is easy. Tab is literally
just a bunch
showing
of
you the
dots?
6 strings, and then the number is the fret. That's all it is. Like, it's not hard to forget.
If
but
it's just the letters, it's the chord. So it doesn't tell you because you can have like A in like a gazillion different positions, which is like the tab thing, just telling you exactly where everything is.
Tab is cheat sheet for people who can't read actual music.
Yeah,
which is me.
I think chords are even cheatier because I can't do tabs whatsoever. But then I don't fingerpick. I strum the whole thing, or it's not played. If it's a real F or a B, I'm fucking out. I can't do anything really complicated. So I just need the letters. I think tab is one step above that.
Yeah, you have a little bit of a complicated history with frets. Isn't that what it's called when you put your finger across?
Bar chords.
Bar chords. Oh, no, yeah.
Because you create a bar with your finger.
Yeah.
I can't do those. I'm dumb. All right. Any more? Does anyone else want to make us sad?
No.
I have less sad things, but I have less to talk about them.
That's fine. That's the honorable mentions. That's their point.
Yeah, okay. One honorable mention, I don't remember what I lost actually, but like in art school, we had this running joke that anything that fell under the table was lost in a black hole. Like, we kept losing stuff in black holes. And I don't remember any, like, it was probably like my favorite rubber or whatever. Like, it fell under the tables. It was gone. It went into the black hole.
Along with all memory of it.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was my joke.
And the other thing is, I collect plants, and I have a bunch of house plants around here. And one plant I really, really, really regret losing because I watered it a little bit too generously. Was called an Aglaonema canmac redstem, and amongst the aglaonemas that are out there, it's probably one of the prettiest that I've ever seen. It has like green leaves with streaks of yellow, and the stems are red. And I'm like, oh my god, this has all the colors. Fuck yeah. I still occasionally like scour the internet if I can find it, but it's like really hard because Aglaonema is like a niche in a niche hobby of collecting plants. It's like, good luck finding one. Like a long time ago, I found a listing on not on Facebook, on Etsy, and I bookmarked it, and it's gone since. And like, I cannot find a new one. I'm like, someone please put this fucking plant up there. Yep, that's it.
Only other thing on my honorable mentions is really dumb. I think it's episode 100. We do backstory episodes for the Lucky Die. I think it's the only recording I have lost, and that was the backstory for Damaz. I just want to have that recording on my side because I want to know how close I got it when I had to re-record it from memory, and no other reason.
I guess I could piggyback off that one. I lost all my White Wolf season 1 and 2 recordings in a hardware crash. I don't need them. I'm never gonna listen to them. I wish I had them.
Yeah, you're not the one editing them, so.
Oh yeah, Travis fucking deletes them as soon as he's done editing.
Psychopath. Keep everything. Hoard it.
Yep.
Neil. Any honorable mentions?
My foreskin, where did they take it? I can't get it back. Can't figure out where they're hiding it.
Please make a slow motion of Aethon drinking.
No, I'm
you absolutely wrecked Aethon.
My virginity. Just kidding. They won't get that for me. What's that Sonic meme? You're right. I haven't lost my virginity because I never lose. See you later, sex haver. And he just runs off. I love the internet. No, I did musical instruments. I could do that all day. I could go through a list of things that I had that I wish I could tinker with, but nope. It'd all be more babbling.
I don't know how to end after that. So,
if you have seen Neil's foreskin, contact us.
Contact me.
Foreskin at Blighthouse Studio.
If you figure out where they put it.
I need to set up that email account.
Tell them to give it back.
Neil wants it back. Neil wants his foreskin back.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Good Lord.
Stopping this recording.
I can't tell when my jokes are too much.
No. Perfect. Oh my god. Stop.
Did you genuinely spit take?
My beer, so I'm drinking out of a bottle, and the top of my beard is just wet.
Hi everyone. I'm not really sure how the hell to follow that as an outro, so I'm just gonna keep it short and brief. If you have seen Neil's foreskin, just email foreskin@blighthouse.studio. I guess I now have to set that up. This was a lot of fun. Actually went way better than I thought it was going to. And listening back, my side hurts, my face hurts from laughing so much. So, yeah, I've got nothing really as a shower here. I have to say thank you for listening. Please tell people about our show and that you're about to hear an ad for 5 Random Questions, which is an interview podcast that literally has 5 random questions as the premise of the entire episode. It's a lot of fun. I've been on it recently. So listen to the ads, and if you think you kind of like the idea of it, go give it a listen. Bye.
What happens when you ask creative people the kind of questions they never get asked? Because when you skip the predictable stuff, you get conversations that are raw, ridiculous, and real.
And then I have this gerbil dog thing to look after for the rest of the trip.
We were called Spaz Kitty.
If you don't enjoy Shower Belly, you're not going to like me.
Welcome to 5 Random Questions, the show where every conversation takes a left turn. From podcasters and entrepreneurs to writers, makers, and curious humans, every guest gets 5 random questions that take them somewhere they didn't expect.
I don't know, maybe that's also like reincarnation to an extent, but either way, Wedgie, somebody in the Roman Empire, is for me.
We live in the city and there are always dead rats in the alley. I might swap for that. That's how much I hate laundry.
That's not an exaggeration. That is exactly what it is like being with, living with, or even conversing with an angry Latina woman.
It's part comedy, part curiosity, and honesty tends to crash the party. Because sometimes the best conversations start with the questions you never saw coming. 5 random questions, unexpected questions, unfiltered answers. Listen now at 5randomquestions.com or wherever you get your podcasts.